Whoops, sorry about that. But something kind of came up. But actually, let me just make sure something's going right. Because first of all, obviously, I want to apologize for that screensaver that went on for too long because that is improper of me and such. So, today, class, we are going to have our fourth lesson of the year with our. Oops. What do I do not have the. I apologize if this is like the first. This seems like the first time I've done this. It's obviously you guys have known I've not, but this is our fourth lesson of the year on our music video analysis course and such. So today's entry for the class will be answering the question of what is Love Dive. Now, as I've already put up here, Love Dive is the title track for the second single album from IVE, to which then the B side for the single being Royale or Royal. I can use this thing, which is pretty impressive. So as you can see from here, this is the album cover for this single and such. Now, most of this is just kind of ripped out of official sources. Right. Whoa, I can do that. So, as you can see from here. So, Love Dive was released on April 4th of 2022. So, basically 3 years ago. And as you saw me circle, it's described as a dark modern pop song with an addictive chorus with percussion sound, which I think I definitely get that and such. To which then, what is Love Dive about, you ask? Well, officially quoted, Love Dive, the Love Dive, or like the lyrics of Love Dive reflect that uh, I'm trying to paraphrase because obviously, as your instructor, it's improper of me just to read directly from the quote. But quoted from Naver, they have said the lyrics reinterpret Cupid of the new era and jumping into love whenever you have the courage to or plan to shine on the stage like a runway in harmony with IVE's visual and performance. To which I think that leads us to the next question of who is IVE? Well, uh, students, basically, as I've already listed here, um, they're a fourth generation group. What does fourth generation mean? You're not in the right course for that. They're from Starship Entertainment. What is Starship Entertainment? Well, the only thing I know about them, or the only group I followed from them previously, was Boyfriend. But they also had Sistar. That I don't know much else with Starship. I've debuted in November 29th of 2021. So this comeback was pretty quick. That's about November, December, January, February. That was like 6 months They debuted. Whoops. They debuted with their first single album, 11, and this is here because I think there's technically more information that technically should be shared about IVE, but more to coming soon for that. Um, as you can see, we have a like behind the scenes photo right here of IVE and such. And speaking of 11, let's show you a little bit of that. And gotta turn that off. So this is from the second course. Have to make sure. I forgot to turn something on. My apologies, class. So let's give this a listen. Oh, whoops, I accidentally paused it. My bad. Then, so that gives you an insight on their sound, to which this song in particular is really interesting in terms of their sound. But just know, Love Dive is different and such. But speaking of Love Dive, let's get into the concept of Love Dive. So basically, obviously annually, like, these releases typically have like about like um 3 or 4 concept photos and such to invoke like what to invoke like what is standing for kind of thing. But these are the 3 primary concepts and such. Or these are the 3 concepts, to which I think the middle one right here is the main like concept and such. Which this one's like the Cupid concept, as I will call it, as you can see from here. There's a lot, like, I didn't provide them just because of our time here, but there are individual like concept photos that actually do invoke the Cupid concept more and such. Um, in a more, I'll say it's more like pop esque and such. And then we have this concept right here, which is I don't know why I want to say regal. That's not. I want to say it's more elegant as opposed to the one present here. And as you can tell, like, the color contrasts is kind of a huge part of it too. As you can see, the main color palettes of this concept is like blue, pink, and then there's some white added. But as you can see from here, it's mainly this. I think the main color here is like primarily red and such. And as you can see, like, I don't know if it's supposed to exactly be like school outfits, but like again, that's why I said this one's more elegant in the sense because of like royalty and such stuff. Because again, I did not provide them, but like the majority of them, they have like crowns and such. And then the third concept here, I think the way I'll describe it, it's just a bit more casual and such. I do think the teaser images for these ones are interesting. Again, I did not provide them, but there is like text per one and such. It's kind of like a picnic or a casual like kind of concept and such. I only picked up picnic because of this, but like there's also just a couch outside. So I think that is a basic rundown of the concepts and such. But however, we should get into the members themselves. Again, this is from the second concept, but these are like the more like these pictures aren't as heavily edited, and the way I have them arranged is by age order, despite the fact Yujin should be first because she's the leader, but again, I want to be consistent and go with age order. So, one by one, we have Garyu. Wait a second. I um where is it?
가을,
Garyu?
가을,
Ga
가을,
Wait, let me hear that again.
가을, 가을, 가을,
Garyu. Garyu. Garyu?
가을,
See, I don't know why I'm hearing a K.
가을,
Let me put this up.
가을, 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 가을,
I'm just trying to figure out how you would like what letters you're supposed to put together.
가을, 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 가을,
Like everyone else is pretty simple, or everyone else is pretty straight to the point. It's just like this one for
가을,
some reason like throws me off because like I want to go with Gayu, but apparently like that's not how it's supposed to be pronounced.
가을,
Maybe it's because I'm not pronouncing the L. Garu, Ga,
가을,
Garu,
가을,
Garu, 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 Ga, Garu,
가을,
Garu,
가을,
Garu,
가을,
Ga,
가을,
Ga, Ga.
가을,
I know it's very unprofessional of me doing this in the middle of class. I'm sorry. Then we got Yujin. Then we got Ray, Wanyon, Liz, and Liso. Um, I I'm not gonna go into like in depth with each one because that I don't think it's really necessary. I think it's at least necessary for me to like at least bring them up because we're gonna obviously be constantly referring to them throughout this entire uh lecture and such. But before we get into the main course, um, does anyone have questions that they want to ask for and such? Because again, if when I'll wait for them, but like I'll just get into my pronunciation process of this. So obviously, I think why is this not working? Excuse me. Wait. Okay, it does work. Excuse me, class. Is there a way to clear this out? But basically, okay. So the way you can do this. Oh, you can't. Okay. So, oh, you can't. You can't do that and like use the pen at the same time. Oh, that's unfortunate. But this is how I break it up. I think obviously the G and A is ga, and I think you're supposed to pronounce all the rest of this together, so it comes Gayu. But then I think the way I'm pronouncing it, I'm basically erasing the L, which is not right. But then I think at the same time, you're supposed to be pronouncing the three of these letters together. And I'm just like struggling for some reason to pronounce these three together. Cause like I understand that like you're supposed to at least end it with an L. So then it sounds like this.
가을,
Got it. But then at the same time it sounds like I'm pronouncing the AE as an O. So got you.
가을, 가을, 가을,
But like at the same time though, it doesn't even sound like I'm having a hard time trying to pick out the G because I'm hearing a K.
가을,
My gosh. I'm trying to find my thing again. So like let's brainstorm this together, class. So because you can't just break it up like this. I guess that's how I've been breaking up. Got you, got you, got gotta. I I did not expect this to be so difficult. Like it's just, and this is my own fault. I feel like it's the fault of my own tongue. Like just I don't know why this like twisted my tongue so much because this is so easy and yet I'm like struggling with it. Guy e oh you I think it's just okay, wait, maybe it's supposed to be broken up with the maybe it's supposed to be like this. Because I think it's a lot more easier to pronounce the EU together as opposed to a UL. Because how do you pronounce the U and L together? Like, if you've, utility, like, I don't, like, but that's the thing. Like, I think in the English language at least, when a U and an L is together, you pronounce the U first, and then the L. So like again, like a word like utility, you say utility. But what's another word? What's another word that like has um a U and an L together? Um I had a word because like obviously okay, so for example, obviously pronouncing an L and a U together is a lot more easier than a U and an L. Like ooh, ooh, like does it make an ooh, ooh? Is that what U and L is? You? I think yeah. Yao? But then like at the same time, like it. If I go with that, then we're basically with my pronunciation, the E's just getting dropped. So I'm basically saying, yeah, Garu, 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 Gayu, Gayu. But I don't think you pronounce the E with it being raised. You do not raise the E. You
가을, 가을,
because like it's
가을,
a calm like ah. So it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to like again like I'm using this as an indication like it's like ah. Unless we're gonna go with the SPA logic and just like AE is S. but like where it's just dropped. But we're not gonna do that. Like obviously that doesn't make sense because then that's basically rendering the AE. So then it's just ghoul, which doesn't make sense. Again, I'm probably just overthinking this because I'm pretty sure it's just Daru. Like I apologize if I apologize, class, if I just am just gonna pronounce it wrong entirely. But I'm just wondering how much I can write. I forgot it. Letter. There. Okay. Okay. I think that's. I think other than Garu, I think I got everyone else pretty like. I think everyone else is pretty good in terms of like names and such. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Ray is Ray. Other than that, uh, it seems like there are no questions that the class is curious about, so we'll move on and such. Which, let me take care of some things. Cause I think I'm just making sure that everything is still okay. Cause we don't want to have the case of where for some reason the school comes down on me and is like, hey, it turns out like we got a complaint, we got a copyright complaint, and it's like, what do you mean? That's insane. What do you mean what do you mean? This is for educational purposes. Like how can the school get in how can the school get in trouble for showing copyrighted material? That is insane. That's like if my video production class got taken down by the copyright police all because for some reason they decided to play Red Flavor in max volume. Anyways, so we will be taking a look at the music video for Love Dive, and we'll go through it, and I'll just lead you through it and point some things out here and there and such. So we got our we can't have that on because we need a way to play it and such. So again, I'll apologize if I just randomly obviously I'll pause it in a place where I feel it's necessary to pause, where I want to like talk about stuff, and I'll make sure that the volume is on so then you can actually hear it. But obviously not to the point that I get barraged by the copyright police. Because that will be weird for a educator like me. So please enjoy this class. and I hope we can get a lot out of just the little bits of like why I think this is a good music video in terms of just its overall result. I need to turn down the volume. So we're gonna pause this immediately. So as you can see from here, there is text and such, to which, as you can see, like this is a pretty like simple font. I think it's not Gothic, but it's a modified version of this font because obviously they added the heart to the ends of the V. But as you can see, if you pay attention to how the text moves, it seems like they are using a like obviously they're just like decreasing the size. They're decreasing the size of the font obviously, but I think with the movement of it, which I have to turn that off. With the movement of that text, it seems like they're definitely easing it and such because it's a smooth like decretion or decrease of the text as opposed to a simple like it's not choppy. But obviously as you can see from here and such of like what the music video has already established, so like there's this like there's these clouds, and then like we're taken to this like let's call it a mansion. And then like we got a quick like pan shot, a wide group shot, and then we get a look at the inside of the mansion with these suspicious angel wings, which I don't think they really go much into. But like look at here, for example, like you see how they use lighting. Like you see how it transitions from yellow to pink, like that could mean something. I'm probably supposed to tell you what that means, but obviously we're only 3 seconds in, so of course I can't tell you what that's about. But yeah, anyways, let's move on. What is
Yeah,
네가 참 궁금해. Like there's more things at this, or there's more things now. Like so the text still shows like I think it's a weird, I mean I would say is a weird decision because I feel like probably not, because at least the text from what we can see from here, it seems like the text actually aligns itself with the footage. There's no like spillover, which is good and such. But like look, this is like a nice establishing shot of like the house and such. Like this looks like pristine. Like isn't that ridiculous? And then we get a look at this pool, which I guess it's a neat pool. It's a heart-shaped pool with a lot of cotton like stuffing, and then like there's Liso. But like this is interesting. You can see how dirty it's been. Yeah, you can see how dirty it's been with this. Like that's something. Okay. Now let's actually get some verses. Let's listen. Let's hear some verses.
Yeah, 네가 참 궁금해. 그건 너도 마찬가지. 이거면 충분해. 좋고 좋는 이런
Well,
우리.
guys, you can see right here, like they're like establishing Eugen and like in front of this mansion and such. and like you can like see she's on this platform. I think this is where originally one of the statues was originally at. So it's like you can take that as like, oh, she's taking the place of like the statue or whatever. But I probably won't go that deep. Anyways.
그건 너도 마찬가지 이거면 충분해 좋고 좋는 이런 놀이 참을 수 없는 이끌림과 호기심 묘한 너와 나 두고 보면 알겠지
Her with arrows is actually relevant. It actually is relevant. But let's go back to it. First of all, I think her outfit's definitely the most interesting out of the 6 because she's the only one to have blue. It's definitely off-putting, but I think it suits her. As you can see from here, like again, like with the Cupid concept, she has this bow with a heart, which I think this is definitely too thin. Or this is too thick. Like this is gonna hurt. But I don't even know if it would pierce anyone with that. Like something like that. I don't think it will pierce anything. But at the same time, I think it could absolutely hurt. Again, let's go back. But again, I think it does, like, you know, for her first shot in this music video, I think it's a like, you know, it's like a nice like back like shot and such. Like I think it does a good job at establishing her, and so Eugen's appearance was like just panning and such. Like it was just literally a camera zooming out and such, which I think is also like pretty, like obviously that's like a satisfactory like introduction.
Yeah, 네가 참 궁금해 그건 너도 마찬가지 이거면 충분해 좋고 좋는 이런 놀이 참을 수 없는 이끌림과 호기심 묘한 너와 나 두고 보면 알겠지
Okay, I'm gonna have to pause it right there because I might have played too much, but I thought I heard the copyright police, but as you can see from here, now they're at this. I don't know if they're playing Russian roulette, but they're at this roulette table now. This roulette table of love. But as you can see from here, there's like 2 dice, and then there's like, is that 6 symbols? Yeah, there's 5 symbols. So we have a heart, we have an arrow, we have the moon. Is that a cloud? No, that's a thunderstorm. And like we got stars. Like, wow, like look at, does this bounce? Wow, look at that. It bounces all around. But anyways. See, and then like wow, like then like we got our introduction to Wonyeon with like that dramatic look, and like as you can see, like look at the lighting, like look, you see how it's lit up. Like you see the lighting, you see the shadows. It's like, what could that mean? It's like, is this supposed to be invoke like mystery? But then like there's some light. There's some light like going through the like shadows and such. So it's like, what is that supposed to invoke? Let's see. I need to keep turning this off so then I can play again. Can I just press the? There we go. Yeah, I guess I can't use the space bar. Whoop. Also, like, let's probably just bring this up. Where exactly is this supposed to partake? Like, where does this actually take place at? It's too, like, it's not in focus. It's not focused on, and like there's just not really, it's it's not really focused on, and like it's just not that much in focus to like really notice where this actually is supposed to take place. Like, I guess from here, could this be a car? Because like I guess this is like the mirror. This is the steering wheel. But like I don't know, like I was gonna say like it could be just like the big red car, but like the big red car does not have two trunks. It has the one yellow trunk. It has the two seats at the top and then the two seats at the front. But this is definitely not it, because this is two separate sections. There's clearly like essentially a wall blocking this side. So maybe I don't even know if these two things are the same anymore. But as you can see from here, like obviously like Wonyeon's like scenes, they're just like it's just a constant like zooming in. But, like it's a continuous zoom in. It's just that it's getting like intercut. So as you can see from there, like if we were to mentally like keep in mind where this frame was in. So like we'll use the approximation of her arm. So like, you know, the width from there. Trying to turn it off. Why did it do that? Okay, so again, the approximation of here. So that's what we're gonna use. Excuse me. So from 2889, and then it cuts back to her. As you can tell, obviously this is kind of a more. It's more recommended to do this of just like obviously when you're doing a continuous shot to just skip in between, or to skip in between as opposed to just cutting directly into it. Just to, I guess in a way, to actually have some time occur within the background as opposed to like real time. I think it just flows a bit better. Like, and it's not like as distracting and such, because then just so then like the first frame of the second shot of the continuous shot isn't just like a direct continuation of the last frame within the first shot, if you understand what I mean. Yeah, it's so bad, it's good. This is my favorite part. So, so as you can see from here, like we introduced Garyu, in like the bushes and such. Like this is honestly like I think this is like a nice collective of shots for her and such. And then like obviously this is Liz. This is Liz. I think this is Ray. Yeah, I think that's Ray because the braids. But yeah, it's so bad, it's good. Shut up. It's so bad. So, again, yeah. Like, you know, for her first part, you know, we got a like medium shot. I think is what this is considered. This is considered a medium shot and such, because it's not close up, but it's not wide enough. And like she's basically, you know, it's this top half of her that's in frame, so it's considered a medium shot. But what I really like about this medium shot is that like, as you can tell, like there is still some like camera movements. Like obviously they have like camera rig and such. So like I mean it's not a handheld shot. Obviously it's probably like a gimbal shot. Obviously, because a handheld shot will be considered it'll make the shot a bit more shakier. But in here there's still some like natural shake to it. But like, you know, not to the point it's gonna be like distracting, but there's still enough so it feels natural. But like this part here, this part is great. Cause like this is what you called rhythmic editing and such, even though it's not a cut to cut. This is more whoops, I clicked on the wrong thing. This is more to do with how they like frame the shot and such, because obviously with how the choreo is done, it's done on the beat. So like obviously when it's like gets to the it's so bad, it's so good, like obviously when it lands on bad, it, like, you know, it like zooms in and then when it gets to good, it zooms in more. It's just like, oh whoops, like just stuff like that is just I really like stuff like that, and especially like with how it's like done. It's just like, you know, they're racking in the zoom, or what do you call it? I want to get on a better frame. You're racking in on the, I mean, obviously you're racking the lens, but you more use that term with like focus, but like this is not. That's why I'm just saying you're racking in on zoom, because like plus I think it's just fun watching this sequence with each perspective of each member, even though again we so gray cut off the side, but I think me and one gets half it. I forgot the pointer wasn't on, but then that would mean I can't control it from here. Like honestly, like this part is just really good. Like it's just really addicting to like watch how well they racked in the screen. It's really well, even though it's true. This is a basic technique, but I just really like how. You see how fluent this zoom is. Like yeah, like you know from here like there's that. And like yes, there's the potential that there's the potential that it could be digital, but like it doesn't look like it, because I think with how like fluent it zooms in, this is definitely authentic. This is like definitely a camera doing it. Because like you can't zoom in like that digitally, because you would lose artifacts and such. Like look at that. It's so bad, it's good, so bad, it's good, so bad, it's good, so bad, it's good, so bad. I know we're just playing it over. It's just, I'm trying to get it. It's so bad, it's good. I don't think they will get me for this, right? They're not behind my door. Oh yeah, this part. We gotta get into this. And again, like, I think this is the same shot, but like I don't know if it's supposed to be like the same shot or if it's literally, because it's definitely her head's now at the top as opposed to here. Again, using our pen tool, as you can see, like her headspace is there, but then
So bad, it's good.
now it's so. I mean, again, I think you'll probably have this information if you actually watch behind the scenes. I have not. There. So, like, yeah, that's like a severe decrease. So, but I mean, for most of the time, I mean, I think most likely it's a different take for sure. So, we'll go with that. But, like, okay, let's talk about this transition, because obviously this is a lot. This transition obviously has a lot going for it and such, because basically this is one of the few heavy visual effects parts. So as you can see from here, I think this heart is a 2D element but animated in 3D. I think that's what I'm gonna have to assume. I don't think I'm gonna use that. I apologize if I point at things and you don't know what I'm trying to point at. I'll just try to verbalize it. But, yeah, as you can see from here, like, I'm pretty sure the heart is a 2D plane, or is a 2D shape animated in 3D. And it just has a, like, glow effect added to it and such. So that's, like, the first aspect and such. Obviously, potentially its effects were done, or its keyframes were probably eased in, and I don't think there's motion blur applied to it. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with that there's no motion blur. But yeah, so that's the top element. Basically, this heart is here to kind of distract you from the actual transition and such. Which I think is definitely creative. You can argue that it is a simple trick. I have yet to have done this, but like, this is obviously, we call this method the match shot. So as you can see from here, they go from these outfits to these outfits and such. And obviously, let's go through how they probably did that effect. So as you can see from the blue corner, as you can see from here, so this is a blur effect with, I think, glow. Basically, there's like a glow effect being applied. And obviously, again, if I'm using After Effects logic, this is definitely a pre-composition, because it would just be difficult to do this on a normal composition. So obviously, I think they probably definitely for sure had to rotoscope them. They had to rotoscope them out, or to keep them in, because of the background transitioning, because of the background flipping over. And then, like, as you can see from there, it just immediately cuts to that and such. Obviously, if we were actually on Premiere, we would go frame by frame, but again, like, this is stuff that obviously the normal eye will not be able to catch, because obviously you're focusing on the heart. You're focusing at the heart that's being thrown at you. So you're not really going to be paying attention to the fact that, and again, the background is moving really fast to the point you're not going to notice that, like, oh, look at that, they didn't add a transition here and such. Like, obviously, if you really want to be that precise about it, you can. But like, I think, again, it's just going to depend on the person that's like editing and such. Whether or not you actually want to be like super precise about like making sure everything, all your cuts are hidden or whatever and such, is just like, I think it just, or I guess it technically just depends on like the person that commissions it, I guess, is how I would phrase it. But anyways, but the thing is that, as you can see from here, it's just simply hidden by a fade-in. And you can really tell, okay, from this shot here, you can tell it's rotoscoped. Like from here, like you can see Liz's outline here. It's like feathered out enough, but like, you know, it's, again, it's just like no one's really gonna pay attention and such, because again, they're like, the background's like heavily like blurred and such. And as you can see from here, this is the center point and such. So like obviously what they had to do, obviously, they had to take the background of this. They had to take out, or they probably had to like obviously they have to mask out the members because they have to keep them here. So like they have to mask them out on this layer, and then they have to rotate it. They have to rotate it. Okay. What's so again, this is my artist rendition of, okay, here we rotoscope them out. There we rotoscope them out, and then obviously that's layer 2. Layer 1, on the other hand, you had to, I mean, you technically go on another program, or just use the automat or content fill. Yeah, use content fill, and then like that's layer 1, and then like layer, the content fill. Content fills the third layer, and then like layer 1 will have to have, so for effects, oh, I mean, then like you have to also go into transform, or I mean that's probably how I would do it. Transform, you go into rotation. You go into rotation. And then you try to just, so you go to transform, you go to rotation, you do a 180, and then effects, you go to like glows, and then like, I mean, at the same time, they probably do use third-party applications too. Like, again, like look at this glow right here. I don't know how you do this in After Effects. Like, it looks neat. Like, again, there's probably an additional layer of like light streaks and such, or like, but I think this is mainly done with blurs. Like, this is basically a radical blur and such. And then you then go, obviously, you do this for one layer, and then you do it with the other layer to complete the transition and such. Forgot to turn that off. Because again, it's like, after all, like, again, this is only like 1 second. This transition's only a second, but there's like a lot, obviously there's a lot that goes into it. And like, obviously there's coordination with the fact that like, obviously that's just within the editing side and such. Like, this is where the, obviously, like the on-camera crew has to obviously coordinate with the editors, because obviously to make the camera crew have to make it easy for the editors, because obviously they have to, because obviously they have to like make the shots consistent. Because as you can see from there, the zoom in from here, the zoom in from here consistent with this. Like, for example, like I guess we can take that we can take that and go back and see where it was, or like how it was in the last second. Which, I mean, I think it helps too that obviously the location is like they dressed it up differently for this setting. So let's identify another. Let's get another thing. So let's get this section of this and such, and then let's go back a second. As you can see from here. So, like, it's technically not an exact match shot, as you can see from here. Again, this is like, if I were to zoom in, it'll basically land underneath here. But the fact is that they made it work. They made the transition work, which I'll give them props for. They made a transition work. What? Are these tennis shoes? I think these are tennis shoes. Okay. But like, obviously it was probably a simple shot for them to do. But like, and like, you know, they tried. They tried with the with the fade in. Like, I think the fade in is like, it looks like an addictive dissolve, because you do see them brighten up a bit, but it could be just from the lights. It could be from the glow effects. And then like, obviously Wonyeon doesn't need an introduction. They already introduced her already. But I guess like, I really do like the camera work. I think it is I guess I'll definitely say it's interesting. It makes sense, but like from a camera work perspective, or a camera operating perspective, like when they get to the mirror part, technically both the camera and, like, I'll say the mirror are kind of bypassing each other, if you get what I mean. Because the camera, so they're going to, so again, it's the pen tool. So the camera is going, so the camera is going the left. Ives going the right. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to, like, I mean, I don't know if that technically is supposed to mean anything. I don't know what you would call it specifically, but like, I do think that is like a pretty nice touch. Even though, like, it probably would have been interesting if they were to have gone the same direction, but I think it's more creative, not creative, but it's more like eye-catching that it's, or no, I shouldn't have erased that one. It's more eye-catching that the camera goes the other way and such. Oops. Yeah, accidentally. We can watch this again.
It's so bad, it's good. 난 그 맘을 좀 봐야겠어. Narcissistic, my god, I love it. 서로를 비춰 숨찬 밤 아름다운
I like how
까만
this gets introduced.
눈빛에 빠져 깊이
Because like
밤
he just awakens from the clouds,
아름다운 까만
and it's like again it's like it kind of adds like a mysterious nature.
눈빛에 빠져 깊이 아름다운 까만 눈빛에 빠져 깊이 아름다운 밤 아름다운 까만 눈빛에 빠져 깊이
Oh, why did it do that?
먹거래 까만 눈빛에 빠져 깊이 아름다운 까만 눈빛에 빠져 깊이
Again, like the camera work here is like pretty like simple. It's like pretty like standard.
밤
So obviously, like if you for people that don't know, like obviously, like again, here's a bad interpretation. This is a 2D interpretation. So obviously, we got camera rig right there. I'm gonna just draw a circle, and obviously so obviously the camera just kind of operates through like that. So like whether or not it can like go up, down, left, right, like that's literally how most things are kind of filmed, or like most of these music videos are filmed. We don't have oh, let's clear this. We're not in the days of just people standing in front of a camera. Like, I don't think a lot of productions do that. Obviously, like, barely. I don't think music videos do this because obviously they want to invoke the choreography. So, yeah.
아름다운 까만 눈빛에 빠져 깊이 숨 참고 last
There's a look at that. Like there's that's definitely digital. They felt you can't really catch that. So they yeah, that's definitely you can tell that's digital as opposed to
It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's so bad, it's good, so bad, it's
like
good,
you can't get it
it's
here.
good, it's good,
Like there's a difference between like actual camera zoom that's what we're talking about and like a digital. Because you can tell like digitals are digital. Like obviously like when it's like wide shots like this, digital zoom ins or zoom outs are fine. What's that? I don't want to repeat. I'm trying to repeat this. I'm just trying to figure out like where it started. Like what was the first position? Because it seems like it is a gradual movement. Like they're still racking the camera in. Like they're still bringing the camera in. Or sweeping the camera in. Yeah, obviously this is a simple way. Like obviously they're just super crazy. But then this is a really nice transition. So like obviously from here they start obviously I will say it's either okay. From this point here, I'm gonna assume they basically keyed. Okay, there's multiple ways they could have done this, but I think with seeing how that blends in, this blends in because yeah, I think they basically because again, there's two approaches to this, but obviously we're trying to get down to the more efficient way of doing it. Because that's kind of what editing is really about. But I think what they did, because I think the way I probably would have done it is that I probably obviously would have kept this as the main video, and then I would have added the clouds as like the additional element. But I think they did the opposite of where they took, obviously they had the cloud element, and then because if you were to make the cloud element the second element, you simply just go to your opacity settings and like just go select from there. So like you go either like screen, soft light, or like linear light, like you use that and such. But I think they did the opposite. So then the clouds aren't lost because you can tell the clouds start coming in from the side and such as it like does a quick cut, like as it does a quick zoom out and such. To which again, I'm pretty sure. I mean, again, you have to keep in mind that obviously this is probably a pre-comped because you can't do this. You can't just do this with the two elements because obviously a lot of things are gonna go wrong. So like, yeah, obviously this is all a pre-comp and such. But it's kind of interesting to see like the clouds don't actually blend themselves with the next shot and such, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, this is the car. Does the car have eyes? Look, like this is yeah, this is the eyebrows, this is the eye, this is the nose. But yeah, like obviously this is obviously all green screen, and this obviously I think the clouds are all digital. Can't really see they did it on Wonder, but obviously it's what the heck? Yeah, there's no spillage. And I forgot to bring this up. If you can't, like, obviously, you can't tell. I will zoom in from, like, here, for example. But, they added, like, a noise and grain throughout this music video, which is interesting. Like, I guess to, like, keep up with the aesthetic. So, it's not the quality of the video, because this is 4K. Yeah, like, I think, yeah, honestly, like, again, if it's green screen, like, look at how well they actually, okay, like when you actually look at it closely, it's like, you can somewhat see all the greens and such, but, like, I think for the, like, this is actually really good green screening, especially after watching some, like, aespa music videos are just like, yeah, you can kind of see where they cut corners. Let me try to find it. We'll open. So, like, where? Like, I mean, I'm not bashing them, but Like you can still like see from here, like there's still some like spillage. They tried.
절대로 뒤를 돌아보지 마라. 광야의 곁은 내지 마, 내지 마.
Let's see. Like and like look at here. Like honestly, I don't mind seeing this stuff because it actually makes me feel confident about my own skills. Because it's just like, oh, okay, like if the industry is doing this, then I can too. Like if the industry people are still making these like common mistakes, then like I think it's valid for me and such. This is the other one. This one always makes me laugh. I try to use it as an excuse in like one of my courses or like video production courses because it's just like, one of these parts, like Joy is just completely greened out. Like Joy's just getting cut out of the music video. It's just funny. It's just like they did not think of this.
마지막 남은 순간까지 점점 다가오지 crazy 아찔하게 가는 rush of the light.
Wait, this is the part where Wendy like forgot to dance for a second.
하게 가는 rush of the light.
They kept it in. Oh my god.
crazy 그 순간까지 점점 다가오지 crazy 아찔하게 가는 rush of the light.
No. Okay, we skipped too far. I'm trying to figure out if it happened anywhere else. But like as you can see from here, like Joy still like has the like outline, like they still have like some borders to them. So it's just funny. All right. Let's get back to it. Yeah, like obviously this is a 3D element. I don't know anything about this. I don't know how to achieve something like this. It's probably Blender or something. So I'm not gonna really talk much about that.
마음은 이렇게
Now we're
알다가도
in the new setting.
모르지 사랑이라는 건 한순간에 필 테니
Yeah, now there's 3D elements being, or there's like CG elements being implemented now.
순간에 필 테니 직접 들어와 두 눈으로 확인해
Okay, no, what the heck?
직접 들어와
I mean, there's the potential these are actual PNGs of flowers. Yeah, it looks. I think these look like real flowers. Like again, they're probably PNGs.
직접 들어와 두 눈으로 확인해
Well, is this flower a PNG? Like, you don't see them moving, so I assume they're PNGs. But like, I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually took pictures of like actual flowers and then obviously implemented them in.
내 맘 가져 깊은 데로 오면 돼
How? Oh, yeah. So this is just obviously cuts.
맘 가 확인해 내 맘 가져 깊은 데로
Yeah,
오면 돼
just simple.
데로 오면 돼 망설일 시간은
So it's just kind of like a montage shot.
3초면 되는 거는 망설일 망설일 시간은 3초면 되는 거
Okay. I think this shot is supposed to mean something. Cause like, look, she's standing behind the statue with the wings. Wait. She's standing behind the statue with the wings. I think that's supposed to mean something. As the instructor, I'm sorry. Like, okay, like, I need to bring this up too, because it's just like, I don't know why they decided to, like, they put her hair in a bun here, as opposed to, like, these shots where her hair is. So I know, like, I raved a lot about how this was shot, because I spent like 5 minutes talking about how good it was. But now we're gonna complain about because, like, what frustrates me. Am I even balanced? Is my audio balanced? Okay. I realize I've been speaking over. Yeah, okay. I forgot. I did not balance my audio. I apologize. But my issue with how this is handled is that obviously they got Ray started like look, pay attention to the camera work being done. Where is it? Pay attention to the camera work that's being done for Ray, because into the oh gosh. We're not getting to the transition yet.
Yeah, it's so bad, it's good.
So, like, as you can see from here, like, with Ray's, like, soul shot, they're actually moving the camera along with her and such. So as you can see, like, there, as you can see from there, like, the camera, like, actually follows her arm movements a bit. But then, like, it doesn't really land when it gets to this group shot here. And then when it gets back to her, then the camera starts moving again. And so it's just, it's sadly, they sadly ruined a good shot. Is how I would word it. Because I'm at the point, because, like, I would have rather preferred if they intercut it better.
Yeah, it's so bad, it's good.
Because, like, I think what would have probably fixed it is if this shot had actual camera movement. So if it actually moved along, like, the arm movement, as opposed to being, I think it's only zooming in. Yeah, it's only zooming in. So, like, it just doesn't really help with it doesn't really help with what's already being kind of introduced and such. And I apologize for that. Because, again, you see the camera land. So you see the camera land, which I think, okay, like, seeing it again, because, like, seeing the camera actually stops, but, like, maybe if they actually cut it in a way so, like, they actually let the camera, I know this is not a good frame, but they actually let the camera, like, stop on the frame, so then it could have been a smooth cut to the group shot. Let's try to. Yeah, so, like, it ends here. Like, the shot technically ended here, but I think they probably, if they let this, I don't know, maybe if they let it extend a bit, and then, like, maybe from here, so then it could have smoothly completed them like moving the arm down and such. So like maybe they cut on when the elbow is down completely, as opposed to kind of, because I think the way this is shot or the way this is cut is that I think it stops here. Yeah, so like, so the camera's just moving down, which I guess it's supposed to emulate, I guess, like the motion of the camera going down is supposed to like transition, is supposed to be the transition of this, but it's just not that, like, it's not really that much of a noticeable transition and such.
It's so bad.
And then this is I think this is worse because it's like, I think the second time is worse. Like, I'm not, okay, like, obviously I have to like advise this. Obviously I'm not saying, hey guys, do the same thing you did like a minute ago. Again. I'm not asking them to do it again. But like, I think they probably should have correlated with, they should have correlated what they were doing in this shot. Oops. With the group shot. So then, because as you can see, when it cuts back to Ray, the camera moves. Like, the camera, like, basically, I think what they basically did. So basically, I think what they were doing is that they were trying to do an arch, I think. So like, okay, there. We're gonna rack the camera. We're gonna have the camera go down, and then we're gonna have it circle back in. I think that's what they're basically doing, which is not bad. Like, that's not bad on their part. But what they were doing with the group wide shot, they're literally just simply, this is the plane. This is a camera. They're just simply, here, I'll just use this. So they're just simply racking in the zoom. Right, no, that, I don't think that's actually correct. They're just basically, oh, okay, for a camera, there, that's a more proper camera. A tripod will have 3 legs. But like, they're basically, or actually, wait, it's wheels. So there. So they're just simply, well, I don't even know how you would move this because it has 3 wheels. But well, okay, there is ways, but like, yeah, so like, I don't know. They're just basically bringing the camera forward. Like, so like, that's basically what's happening. So like, there's just not really any correlation between the group shots and like Ray's sword shot, as opposed to, like, obviously Garyu's shots don't interfere with the and plus, again, it's consistent technically, because again, this close up of her matches up. Or actually, we probably should have used that. This matches up with this. Like, again, I mean, like, realistically, I probably would have drawn a circle. Oh well. But then we go with her here because, like, we're dealing with jumping into a wide shot or to a close up to a wide shot, which those shots I think are a lot more trickier to like try to like transition smoothly.
It's so bad. It's good. 원하면 감이 뛰어들어 원하면 bad. It's good.
Like yeah,
It's
it's
so
nice that the
bad.
choreo
It's good. It's so bad. It's good.
I just like,
It's
this is
so
again this is not
bad.
bad.
It's good.
I'm sorry, I'll balance the audio. Or I'll not, because I think because of how my mic is, I think I'm potentially being more quiet than the actual audio. So, but like again, like this is not bad, but like, I think it could have been like done better. Maybe if it was like, because again, like here it's already a wide shot, so like maybe I think they should have gone from like a close-up shot to a wide shot, like have that gradual like transition.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's good. 원하면 감이
But I
뛰어들어
think the transition here, the map shot here is, I think it's done better because it's not, it's on a stationary plane. Yeah, it's on a stationary plane as opposed to
마음을 좀
a zoom in,
봐야겠어.
like a zoom in like shot. And also because here I think we have a more smoother transition, but or cut. But again, I think this uses the same methods. Yeah. So again, they rotoscope them out. They took. So again, if we had to use our illustration tools, where is my cursor? So again, they individually had to rotoscope. Oops. They individually had to rotoscope the majority of them. I think okay. I think this is in 3 batches. So this is in 3 batches of rotoscoping. Wonyeon's leg is gone. So yeah, there's that, and then oh no, her leg's right here. Again, obviously I'm not actually doing it, but it's just, again, it's funny because like Liz is missing part of her leg there. Wonyeon's entire leg is missing. So okay, so like, you know, there you did your rotoscoping job. Again, then you need to go. So this is your rotoscoping layer. So this is your rotoscope layer. And then you have to go to your, so this layer here is our layer 1. Our layer 1, to which then needs a content fill. Which then needs a content fill layer, because you need to remove the members, so then you can actually properly do this entire transition. Or, I mean, I'm not gonna be surprised that they actually do have a clean plate of like, they just have a shot of the background that they can use. It's just that obviously they took that same, or, I mean, it's probably more smarter that they filmed that shot for, like, they filmed the background first, they made the members walk in, do the shot, and then like do that. That's probably, and just did a frame hold. That's a more better option, so then you don't have to do the content fill step. And then obviously you do an entire pre-comp of adding all these effects, adding the blur, having a rotation, or then you go to, or I mean, then instead of content fill, you can immediately just go to transform. You can just transform the element, and then you can add in all the boards and such. But let's pay attention to what's the highlighter. Yeah, okay, there. We're gonna color in the legs back. Sure. That highlighter is pretty bad. I don't know if the star is the same element. I think the star is different. It seems faster, and it actually forms the heart faster. Yeah, okay. So it's definitely a new heart element because this one doesn't actually. This one doesn't stay on screen as long. As you can tell, this is not. This heart is not exactly in the center. So. As opposed to. Yeah, as opposed to this one. Well, maybe it is the same element. I mean, it's better to save on time. Yeah, you know, yeah, it's the same heart element, which I can't blame them for. Like, why would you go through the effort of redoing it? But let's pay attention to the addictive dissolve. Yeah, and also with this one, I think the transition here works better because, like, you know, I guess with how it looks like as if Ray just walked out of the heart, which I think is kind of like, I don't think that's intentional because it doesn't look like it. But yeah, like, again, like, you can see from here, like, the rotoscoping job is like, you can see the rotoscoping job done here is. Again, you're not gonna pay attention because I mean, for the most part, like, again, it's only for like 2 seconds. Again, Ray does not have her toe. I think Wonyeon is missing part of her shoe or part of her boots, and yeah, honestly, like, I you can't blame them. Can't really blame the editors for not being super precise, especially for like a 1 second transition. So, but again, like, seeing stuff like this, it's just like in like what is technically deemed as like professional like products and such. Like seeing editors technically cut corners like this, it makes, in a way, I feel like it should make more like, I guess, beginners more confident in themselves, because it shows that you don't need to be like super precise or like super like, you don't need to be super precise or like super on the point with things. If literally stuff like this that has like 200, like, almost, I think 3 million views. Like, this music video almost has 3 million views, and they allowed rotoscoping like this. Like, honestly, give yourself some slack. Like, this just shows it's okay to, like, if you deem that it's not necessary to be super precise in a 1 second transition, then you're allowed to. If this is allowed, then like you can do, then like, you know, you can focus more on other aspects of it, as opposed to like, it just kind of shows like how like rotoscoping doesn't necessarily need to be like super precise in these kind of things. Like, obviously in some cases, if it's entirely relying on rotoscoping, yeah, you should make it more cleanlier. But again, for a 1 second transition that people are barely gonna see, yeah, it's acceptable. I think it's also at this point too. Like, I really do like what this. I guess like what this. Like, I don't know the way I get out of this. What I get out of this like hand coordination. It's supposed to be like kind of like a bell kind of thing with like each hand hitting one another. I don't like that. I don't like that they just cut in the middle of it. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. It just makes it a bit awkward. Again, it's quick, but it just kind of makes it awkward because it's like, can you at least finish the movement or at least cut it before? Like, I get that it's because they're following the line. Like, they're following the syllable. So, like, I know I've been kind of, like, I know, like, mainly, it seems like I've been mainly critical on Ray's parts. It's just, like, but obviously it's not her fault. It's the editors. Because it's just like the action doesn't get completed, so it's just okay. Like, yes, I know it's like been already established. Like, we already know what it looks like because it's been done. But like, still, it's just like you're going through the effort of showing it again. So like, you either like choose to like actually do it, or to like actually show it in a more complete manner, or just to kind of get rid of it, because like I kind of would have preferred it. Like, why even bother keeping that small sliver? It's like, what? How many seconds is it? Like, or it's like 2 milliseconds? Yeah, or that's like about 3 milliseconds. Like, it seems like Ray's like parts have like a consistency to them, at least, I guess, of where they intercut her like her soul shots and like her group shots. So I guess that's like a preferred consistency. That doesn't look like her though. That's not Ray. Ray has bangs. I really like this part because like this is technically like, interestingly enough, this is like obviously like I think it's interesting that like in the prospect of this music video, this is the first time we actually get to see this half of the choreography. And I really like it. I really like it. Like, I like the art. I can't really. Obviously, these are 3D elements. I'm gonna get. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Oh, is that an arrow? But I mean, like, that's a really good transition. This is like a green screenshot, most likely. No, that's not back. That's not. I mean, like, obviously, some of this has to be practical, but, like, obviously, I think the clouds are probably imposed. And obviously, the moon. But, like, obviously, I think the background, obviously, it's probably the background and, like, this, obviously. background, the diving board. Okay. I think obviously the clouds and the moon are like post, and like I think the background obviously would get modified, but I've never deal with this before, so. I mean, yeah, that was probably they probably could have cut it earlier, because there was kind of a pause. Yeah, they probably could have cut it one frame earlier. I also appreciate this too within the choreography of like Ray, because obviously they're an even number, and like their formations seem odd, but I really appreciate like I think it's neat. I don't think that's the right word, but like with this part, Ray has to scoot her way in frame just to be visible. Like, you can view that as a flaw within the choreo, but I don't know. I think it's a neat detail, so then she's not completely hidden. Like, again, it's just an additional thing, but like, I know it has nothing to do with the editing, but stop. Like, I'm curious what this is supposed to be. But like, again, this is like a really nice shot. Yeah, like again, like this is a really nice shot overall. I think this is the clouds and such. Like it's basically like okay, so again we would do a rendition of like basically what's happening. So basically the camera, it's just that the camera is like, I don't know what happened. Like obviously the camera's just angled up. That's basically it. It's getting held up by something. And like it's just like, again, like these kind of shots I always like think are really neat and such. So oh, I didn't I didn't turn off the pen. Now we're at the dance break, which definitely is different from what has already been established. It's just basically, it's pretty. I'm not gonna pause it at any of the frames, but but yeah, basically it's just in a studio, a glitter floor. I think definitely for sure. This definitely looks imposed on post, and then we have some screen flare or like lens flares, because these are just like, or these can't be optical flares. Do they move? Okay, they do. Maybe this is maybe it is optical flares. I don't know. Because would they go through the effort of doing that all one by one? Like, I can tell this is, like, I don't know. It's probably not actually, like, again, I just want to, I assume it's just a stock effect. Because I don't think they would go through the effort of making one optical flare, imposing 4, and then making it go down. Like, I don't think they would do that for 1 second. But it looks like optical flares. Like, and then like we got a lens flare. We got a lens flare up here. I don't know if that's like an authentic lens flare, but yeah, what the heck? I think this is optical flares. Which is kind of yeah, because look how fluent they're going down. Like, I mean, it's not hard to make a star pattern in After Effects, but like, to do it for a second, or for like second cuts, or cuts that are only for like a few seconds, that's where it's like, I don't know if you would actually want to commit in the time of doing that. Like, obviously I would, just for like the bit, and just for authenticity, for like, or just for like the dedication, like not for this obviously, but like just for like any other like project that might require that. Like, yeah, of course you would, but it's just like, yeah, cause like you can kind of tell that like obviously it's not practical, but I think those what the heck? I think the lighting though is authentic. Like, the light streaks are authentic. Also, in this, I do not know how friendly this is. But yeah. I don't know if that was playing. Let's make sure. Nope, that's not it. Stream health. It's not a stream. Would he even tell me? No. Alright. But it seems like we're fine. Okay, the copyright police aren't after me. Like, I basically at this point, it's kind of basic. Oh, I didn't pull this out. But yeah, again, the text is basically the same like the beginning. You know, the ending doesn't really have like much that we haven't already covered. Like, besides introducing like a new choreo. My bad. Like, basically, like, what? I think what's newly done is, like, oh, we get to see these outfits entirely. Or, like, we get to see, how... Like, I think it's kind of ridiculous. We only saw we've only seen half of these outfits. We never saw Liz or Liso or Wonyeon. But maybe that's what you get for making your music video under 3 minutes. And it took us an hour 50. But yeah, that was Ives Love Dive, and it's I, it's probably one of my favorite music videos from them and such. Like again, I like the little things about it and such, and like I think it does what it needs to do. We keep going.
Yeah, it's so bad, it's good. 난 그 맘을 좀 봐야겠어. 난 내게로 빠져 깊이.
I've already shared. Let's go back. Oh wait, it actually keeps this stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's clear it. Oh, actually no, we'll keep it. But yeah, like I think like the concept is pretty neat. I think the music video actually took me by surprise with just how I wasn't expecting the chorus to like with the chorus I was more expecting of like I didn't really expect okay, if I were to switch, do I have it here? Because this is what I would expect the chorus to have been in terms of like how they would have shot it. Can I pause? Can I pause it? You're not gonna let me pause. Oh, just mute. It won't let me pause it. I think it's broken. Okay. Where is it? Here. So this is what I would have expected for the chorus for both choruses. Like shots like that. Like slow. Like they technically did it at the end. Like stuff like that. I think it's the part again. That's why. But they technically did it at the end. But I was expecting that for like the entirety of the music video, but I'm surprised that it wasn't, especially with how it was kind of presenting itself in terms of its sound. Again, we're not talking about the song itself, but again, I think I enjoy it a lot. I think especially like when you compare it to 11, I think it is like it's a natural progression, as I like to say. Like I think they're both on par. They're both naturally like pretty good. Like it's like a nice like next step, or I don't know how to phrase it. It's a nice way of it was a nice continuation to poorly word it and such. But we have 2 minutes left before this lecture ends. Technically we did do an entire lecture hour and such, so I'll be courteous and I will excuse everyone that decided to drop by and such. Was there anything else we needed to dive into? Again, I think it's weird that this, because like I mean I do like concept photos. I do like when concept photos outfits actually make it to the music video, because basically all of these are music video teasers and such. But I feel like, especially like nowadays, we barely get to actually see, like, you know, because like I feel like what we see from the concept photos, we don't get to see at the end. Like we barely get to see them at all in like music videos, for example. So like, which I feel like is just like, then what's the point? I want to see these outfits. I want to see them perform in these outfits. What do you mean these are only done for pictures? So yeah. Oops. If anyone's curious, despite the fact I'm the instructor, this is my works cited page. I did not do it properly. I did not cite my sources properly, but we did it nevertheless. So, thank you, class, for participating in this presentation. Next time, we will take a look at CLC's black suit. So, whenever we come back here next month for our monthly music video analysis, I hope we get to inform each other about these aspects and see more in these music videos than what is just in the like the nature eye, or like the more than what we see in the human eye, and like more the aspect of the people who actually like construct these videos and such. So, class is dismissed.